Big story tonight, a generation's demanding action.
Students in Metro Detroit walking out of school to stop gun violence.
From Royal Oak to Dearborn, Plymouth to Troy, Auburn Hills to Farmington Hills. Teenagers joining their voices with students from thousands of schools across the country on the 19th anniversary of tragedy, the Columbine School Massacre.
Their message? The protests won't stop until change happens. Our big story coverage begins with 7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson live in Royal Oak, where students from multiple Oakland County schools gathered together.
Yeah, good evening. I'm standing in the parking lot of the Royal Oak Farmers Market. This parking lot was filled earlier today because of 2 juniors in high school who were able to rally their friends, their parents, even state lawmakers. They spoke out against gun violence, asking for what they're calling common sense gun laws. Many actually shared very personal stories of how gun violence has impacted their lives.
Show me what democracy looks like!
Bailey Golding led her classmates in today's walkout with chants
How many kids did you kill today?
and handmade signs.
Marching from Royal Oak High School here the 2 miles, it's hard to not be emotional.
Her Michigan classmates at her side, Golding says her former Colorado classmates were on her mind.
This is a movement that I was literally born into. I mean, I was born in Littleton, Colorado. My sister was at Columbine.
19 years ago, her sister was a freshman when 2 seniors opened fire in Columbine High School, killing 12 people, injuring 21. Golding wasn't born just yet, but she remembers being in 1st grade when her own school went on lockdown.
I was afraid. My teacher was afraid, and every kid in that school was afraid.
Today, Golding, her Royal Oak classmates, and students from Ferndale, Berkeley, and Bloomfield Hills all gathered in the parking lot at the Royal Oak Farmers Market.
We want change! We want change!
To demand a change in state gun laws to keep kids safe in school, encouraging those turning 18 to let their voices be heard.
I won't let others tell me what can't happen, will you?
No! Not anymore!
We have the drive to be relentless in our efforts and be the generation that ends school gun violence.
You represent the voices and the hope for the future of the United States of America.
It's empowering because it means this isn't going to stop. We're here and we're going to make noise.
One of their catchphrases today was, "This is a movement, not a moment." And the overall message here is that you're never too young to have a voice. You're never too young to speak out. And these students will soon be old enough to vote, even run for office to create the change they hope to see. Continuing tonight's big story coverage, Anu Prakash is in Troy.
You can see from Chopper 7 what happened when the clock hit 10 a.m. here at Troy High School. Hundreds of students left class and walked outside to send a message. Senior Lindsay Davis is one of them.
I'm missing a few hours of school because 17 students are missing the rest of their lives. It's really important to me because I've always just been somebody that wants to help everyone and try to change things for people. And I really like what the Parkland survivors are doing, and I just want to be just like them.
First, they held a moment of silence for 2 minutes to remember the victims of the Stoneman Douglas school shooting that happened 2 months ago. From there, they walked to Bullen Park, carrying signs and chanting.
Save schools! When do we want it? Now!
The school district says the parents of most of the students here called so they could take part in the protest. That way their absence would be excused. Student organizers say they're here to make a difference.
Protest gun violence and to raise political awareness in teens, as well as raise our voice to government officials and cause change in our government.
They also had tables for voter registration.
About half of the people here can vote, yet most haven't registered.
There were a handful of counter-protesters there as this group talked about the changes they want to make.
It is a necessity to address the issue of gun control now, as soon as possible.
It's a new generation of voices pushing for change.
I want to be a part of this because, frankly, I don't want to fear having to be attacked or maybe even have my life taken away whenever I step into the doors of my school.
This is our chance to finally speak out and share our minds of what we want to do and what we want to see happen, the change we want to happen. This is finally our chance to just show Congress and America what we think of this, because no one has ever given us a voice, so this is our voice now.
Now, those students say today is not the end of it. They have already reached out to local lawmakers. They want to meet with them to push for new legislation. In Troy, Anu Prakash, 7 Action News.
Our big story coverage continues right now on our website, WXYZ.com. Head to the website for a detailed list of students' demands and a photo gallery of today's walkouts from across the country.